Yes, sir. Welcome back to another Chop It Dive film session. I am your host, Jamal Forrest, host of the Chop It Dive podcast. Man, and look, we're going to talk about Noah Brown. As you all know, Washington Commanders, they needed a little help at receiver. And to do that, they traded John Ridgeway that freed up a roster space, and they signed Noah Brown out of free agency. Let's go ahead and get to know Noah Brown. And also over the next couple of days, I'll probably have one more film session doing a quick tap into some of the Washington Commanders receivers just to get to know them a little bit, because the preseason didn't really help too much about some of those players like Olamide Zaccheaus, as well as Byron Pringle. I think we're going to try to get to know these guys and see why they're still on the roster as well. But without further ado, let's tap into Noah Brown. Let's see what he does well. I'll tell you about some things that you have to worry about. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going to kind of start with what he does well at the catch point before we kind of get into like the nuances of like route running or what he does well at the line. But I know a lot of people love to see what people do at the catch point. And one of his best traits is his physical toughness in contested situations. His grip strength is impressive, right? Very good overall grip strength, man, and just the mental toughness in situations. But from a contested situation, he has a good concentration, the willingness to take on big hits, right? Here's one of those where David Mills is fading this into a tight coverage. I think it's cover 6, but you're talking about him throwing to the 2 side. So you got a high-low in terms of your corner and safety, basically fitting into a honey hole spot, right? Obviously that sweet spot with the cover 2 defender, cornerback, and then the half-read safety. But you're seeing Noah Brown in this situation extend for the football, right? Leave his feet, extend for the football, secure the pass with a defender on his back and a defender in front of him. Good read for a first down. Good catch for a first down. Another situation, 2 defenders on him. That's the physical toughness we're talking about in contested situations. Runs over the linebacker, right? The route in itself was covered in a sense, right? But you got the first down off the catch. Now you secure the pass. You get upfield. Gain about 7 more yards. Really good play from Noah Brown. Now we talked about his physical toughness in contested situations, right? And what he brings to the table, but his ability to adjust is, solid body control. So slightly above average, nothing too special, but he shows the ability to adjust behind him. He can get low if he has to. He can get high if he has to. This is a rep where he has to get high above the defender. This is tight man coverage for a second, but he breaks away at the top of the route. First off, look at the strength that he has, like doing the hand battle itself, right? Just being able to distance himself at the top of the route, that slight extension, their hand fighting, that's all legal within the rep. But then at the top of the route, you see what he does at the catch point, being able to get high like that. Really good play from Noah Brown. Adjusting in that sense, right? Full extension, very good concentration. That's a hand right in front of him. Good body control to keep his feet, protect the football on his way down. And here's another rep where I mentioned how he gets low. That's low and behind him. Very good body control here as well. Able to get up, get some more yards. But yeah, that's what Noah Brown brings as a receiver when you're talking about what he can do at the catch point, his adjustability, his grip strength, right? And things that he's willing in terms of his competitiveness to win on a given play. But we're not done yet, right? Like some of these are simple, but let's kind of talk about, these are all critical situations in football. So he has that mental toughness too, that I think you will want to bring to your receiving core, right? This is a 3rd down and 10. Simple, like it looks simple, right? You're playing against off coverage. It looks like cover 2, but it's probably cover 3. That tight defender, that tight defender kind of got ran out the way in the clear out. So like a dagger in a sense, a dagger concept with that backside dig, right? But good patience from Noah, not necessarily running at full speed, just getting some depth and then breaking it slightly in. And the quarterback hit the spot, hit the landmark. And here's a 2nd and 9 but this is 2-minute situation. So you're talking about it's 20 seconds left on the clock. They're in scoring range. We're throwing it inbounds. We're throwing it to one of the receivers that we trust. He takes on contact, able to secure the football still regardless. Good play. This is a 3rd and 4 situation. Now you're facing off coverage. They're giving you that first down stick, right? But at the same time, that's tight coverage. Let's kind of run this back so you can see the angle. When we talk about that adjust, right, that body control, that's full extension. You're not going to be able to see it from the other angle. So you kind of have to look at it from this one. But extending outside is frame, contested situation, securing the football on the way down for a first down, moving the sticks. 3rd and 4. Tough catch from Noah Brown. When you get targets like that, that's a receiver who has earned the trust of his quarterback. If you're out there on the field, I'm sure 7 times out of 10, your quarterback trusts you. Your offensive coordinator trusts you when they're going to him in those situations and he's converting for the Houston Texans. So now let's kind of look at him in scramble drill situations. I think this is important because a person like Jaden who he's going to have those moments where he has to buy time in the pocket, right? Whether he's looking to buy time or he may take off. But how do you want to cover? So let's look at Noah Brown, right? Tight to the formation, breaks out for a corner. He stops, but he also knows that his quarterback is in trouble, so he instinctively runs to the zone, that open void that you see in the middle of the field. That's not part of his route. He's just curling. But once he gets free and he sees quarterback is running towards him, he sees open void, comes back to the field. Comes back to the middle of the field. I think that's just good instinctive play and good processing overall. Same thing you're going to see here. He just has good field vision, I think, and just anticipatory skills to like find those zone voids with the QB in sight. Like he can work back to the quarterback from the 3rd level. He can work back to him on the 2nd and 1st level. Like it's just things that he does. That's really impressive. All right, so one of the better things that I think he's improved on, because I scouted him for this year, and then I also scouted him, I think, going into the 2022 season. I wasn't that impressed with his acceleration. I wasn't really impressed with his ability to close cushions against off coverage, right? But I think he got a little bit better, man. I think he's gotten better, and you're going to see this in some of these reps. With Houston, it was just kind of different. How he was threatening off coverage defenders. 20-yard curl route in a sense. Getting the defender to the back pedal before breaking for that curl. Really good rep from Noah Brown. Same thing here against Sauce Gardner. Getting physical at the top of the route. Now, he didn't necessarily close the cushion all the way, but he did get the defender to turn his hips, right? That's just a bad pass. But we're looking at how he can threaten in multiple ways for an offensive team, right? Getting physical at the top of the route. Should have been a catch, but bad throw. And here's one of his more explosive plays of the season. Let's kind of actually start this from the top, because I want you all to just see every single aspect of it. He got out of the gate quick. And one of the impressive things with Noah Brown is his yak with physicality. He has really good yak with power. He knows how to extend plays with his arms, like the stiff arms. He has good physical toughness. We've shown that in other instances, running over linebackers. He's competitive, man. He fights for all the extra yards that you can get. That's all you need out of a Noah Brown, right? And lastly, one of the things that, it got Jahan Dotson in trouble. It wasn't just his route running and things like that, but like what did he do as a run blocker? And I know people don't love necessarily highlights of run blocking, but his play side run blocking gets him in good situations. He's also a person you can trust as a pass blocker. Dallas did this really good thing where they had him as like their H-back, and he was tight to the formation. He would be your extra pass blocker in some situations. He was that tough. He was that physical as a selfless player for your offense. He did a lot of the dirty work for a team, and I think Noah Brown did the same thing in Houston. He's going to do the same thing wherever he goes. Washington has him. Cliff Kingsbury is going to know how to utilize him. Those are just run blocks. But as a pass blocker, he's just as efficient. So there's multiple ways that he can be used on the field. I don't know if he's going to be available week 1, but this window where it's the 29th of August and you're talking about he has 8-9 days to get ready and a few practices included in those 9 days to get ready, he'll probably be good to go to get some reps on the field. field against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But that's gonna wrap it up for this film session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. One of the things that I do think we have to be focused on with Noah is there are some things that he still does struggle with. I showed you the highlights, but you're gonna have to listen to some of the lowlights. He's going to struggle sometimes against press coverage and jam DBs, pretty good jam DBs. His release plan still hasn't necessarily developed. He doesn't have that much patience in terms of post-snap instincts to win against physical, lengthier defensive backs. He struggles sometimes reducing his frame against press coverage. Jam coverage, reducing frame, meaning like getting skinny or avoiding that contact, being able to slip that contact, like his chest can be exposed, right? So I think he has to work against that. That can slow him down at the line. That's what we're talking about here. Sometimes soft coverage, like those DBs that plays, like they're not necessarily off, like 10 to 12 yards off the ball, but they're probably like 5 yards off the ball, not giving them too much cushion. The release plan has to develop a little bit there as well. He's going to struggle sometimes in those instances in terms of like understanding what to do to get himself free. Certain routes that he can't run, I think he's in most of the routes, y'all can look at the film session again. If you notice, most of them are vertical. He's a very good receiver if you're asking him to run like full speed routes, right? He can tempo, he can throttle, things like that. Curl route helps kind of transition from the full speed, and I think he runs curl routes well, but asking him to run a horizontal zig routes or whip routes or digs or outs, like those ones is kind of what he struggles with getting out of his breaks on like that first and second level. Outside of that, man, he's just gonna have to keep working on his hands in terms of his use of hands, like trying to be able to win at the line of scrimmage in those instances. Changing direction is a little struggling, and he's gonna have to keep working on his release plan. But also his injuries, he gets injured a lot, so you have to hope for a clean bill of health when he's here with Washington. Those are kind of the big things that you have to pay attention to. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for the film session. So I hope you all enjoyed it, man. Again, like I said, I'll do another one for a couple of other receivers within the next couple days. But yeah, take care. Until next time. Peace.
Chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Damn, set, watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.